All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 9 of Recliner Sports Talk. My name's Nick.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Zach.
All right, we got a full slate here for you guys today. Tomorrow, you couldn't see all of us repping our teams here, okay? Tomorrow, opening day, Major League Baseball finally here. So we're going to go over 3 things we're looking forward to this Major League Baseball season. 2, is anybody going to stop Gonzaga? Another crazy weekend of college basketball. Is anybody going to stop them? Then Justin Fields or Zach Wilson. Obviously, again, we've talked about who's that next best quarterback. It seems like it's going to be one of those two. So we're going to get everybody's pick on that. And then lastly, with baseball ringing in here, our top 5 seed flavors, sunflower seeds. Okay, I know all of us have gone through many of packs of those, so we will be experts on that take. So first up, I'll let the Braves fan go first here. Okay, Zach, opening day, what are 3 things you are looking forward to this Major League Baseball season?
So I'm keeping it all in the NL. I think the NL had the best offseason out of the NL AL. But my first one is, can Tatis carry the Padres this year? Can he get them over the hump? Because, I mean, a couple years ago, the Padres made all these offseason moves like they did this year with the Upton brothers. They went out and got a few pitchers. Man, their staff this year could be one of the top staffs in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Man, can he lead them? Can he lead them to the postseason? Can, they were there last year. They got bounced early. But, man, their pitching staff could be really good. Can the Padres do it? I think the Padres and the Dodgers are going to be a fun little rivalry this year. I hope it lives up to the hype, but that's one thing I'm looking for. Can the Braves' arms stay healthy? And I'm a Braves fan. I had to throw a Braves thing in there. But can they stay healthy? Can Ian Anderson repeat after – I mean, he was a gem last year. We found him. He was always a good young pitcher for us. In the minors, we bring him up because, hey, we lost Felix last year because he opted out. We lost Cole Hamels. And then we lost Soroka to injury. And then Max Fried had back issues towards the end. So can the Braves' arms stay healthy? And can the NL East kind of live up? And I'm going to add this question in there. But can the NL East live up to the hype? I mean, I think they're going to be the best division in baseball. But can the Phillies live up to the – like, can they compete with the Braves and the Nationals this year? Are the Marlins going to feed off of their their big year last year? I don't know. But that's something I'm looking for. And one dude that is always in talks, I watched a couple podcasts with him this year in the offseason. Weird dude, fan of him on the mound, but can Trevor Bauer, can he put the money where his mouth is? He's a part of a really good team, the best team he's been a part of. Can he be the dude there? Because I think Kershaw is aging a little bit. We knew Walker Buehler struggled a little bit last year. A shortened season. It gives some people some excuses. I'll give it that. But he looked good in the postseason. I'll give Walker Buehler that. But can Trevor Bauer be the dude? Like, he's coming off a Cy Young year on a great staff with a great team. Can he live up to all this talk that he's done? He was a dude who said he was only going to sign somewhere if he could pitch every 4 days.
And they went to a team that was loaded. He went to a team that was loaded. That's a crazy story.
Yep. And Nick said this too. He went to a team that was loaded that's already there. Kind of like a KD move, but we're not going to get into basketball. But can Trevor Bauer live up to that contract? Can he live up to that money? Can he live up to the year that he just had? That's one thing I'm looking for. 3 NL things, but I think I'm a Fernando Tatis fan. I'm excited to watch him in the Padres this year because I think the Padres and the Dodgers are going to be a fun little rivalry to watch.
Even though Zach didn't even take Tatis and had the opportunity to take him. Now, listen, Brandon.
Not too overall.
I know
he's a hypocrite.
Brandon, I know what you're going to say here, so I'll start it off for you. Can this be the Yankees' year?
That's all right. I'm going to go through my 3 things. I mean, you just hit the nail on the head. My number 3 thing, though, is Mike Trout. I just want to see Mike Trout play.
Yeah.
People forget how great this dude is. I will read off his stats real quick.
Nobody forgets how good he is. Who forgets how good?
I think the media forgets, Zach. Seriously.
I don't think he puts himself there, though.
I agree with Brandon here.
See, the only thing I'm saying is I don't think he wants to be put in that. I don't think the media forgets it. Like, he's always one of the top MVP vote getters. But he doesn't want to be the face of the MLB. That is the problem with him. He doesn't.
Why don't these sports shows ever talk about baseball? Why don't they ever talk about Mike Trout? Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman's never said a thing about baseball in his life.
Oh, come on.
I don't get it.
But that's
no, they don't talk baseball.
The MLB has copyright things, man.
You can still talk about it.
With that stuff.
You might not have to. You don't have to show video. You can talk about it.
I agree, but I think they just stay away from it. I hate it too, but I think that's why.
It makes no sense. But anyway, Mike Trout, 9 seasons, right? 3 MVPs. He's never finished worse than 5th. Last year, he finished 5th because he missed technically a 6th of the season. He finished 5th. That was his worst ever. He has 8 All-Star appearances. He has 8 Silver Sluggers. He won Rookie of the Year, obviously. His career batting average is .304. He has 302 home runs in 9 seasons. You do the math. He's not even – it's not like he's just a power guy like a Chris Davis in his prime, Orioles Chris Davis when you're hitting 50 home runs and you're batting 180. Mike Trout's batting over 300. He has 201 stolen bases. He is second all-time right now of the players currently playing. He's second in stolen bases. Did you know that? I found that interesting.
Wow.
But people don't really steal bases anymore. He's 74.1 WAR. He's already 81st. There's only one person ahead of him who's currently playing Pujols. He's got a higher WAR already than Reggie Jackson, Jim Thome, Frank Thomas, Justin Verlander, and Derek Jeter. He's in his 9th season. Those guys played for 20 years. He's on track to beat Babe Ruth's all-time WAR record, which is a great statistic used, honestly, for the best players of all time. So that's all what I'm going to say there for Mike Trout. But I think people need to appreciate what we have. We're about to see Mike Trout in his prime. He could be the greatest baseball player of all time in his prime right now. I think he needs to be on TV a lot more. And this is a shot at ESPN. I understand he's on the West Coast. It's kind of tough, but you got to find ways to put him on TV. He's must-see TV. My number 2, like you said, Dodgers, Padres. Here's a question. I think Manny Machado is the best player on that team. I think he's better than Tatis.
Say that.
I mean, I don't know. Last year, Machado batted like 280. He had a lot of home runs, RBIs. I know it was a short year. I know his first year in San Diego wasn't the greatest, but do we forget what he was in Baltimore? He was batting 330 with like 40 home runs, and he's really good defensively. I think people are getting too much on this Tatis bandwagon because he's new. Yeah, he's really good, but remember, he is young. People are going to find out. Pitchers are smart. They're going to find out his tendencies. Look at Gary Sanchez. Gary Sanchez came in really good, and then you throw a curveball to him, he can't hit. So I want to see what
scouting report.
I want to see what Tatis does this year. He better because pitchers are going to make adjustments to him. So we'll see how great he really is. And then number 1, are the Yankees going to win a World Series? This core's been there since 2017. I'm tired of hearing, another year, next year's our year. No, Stanton and Judge work out too much. I think that's the problem. They get injured. They're too muscular for baseball. Is that even a thing? I'm going to make it a thing. Just don't work out, guys. Come on. Stop getting injured. If they stay healthy, they have the second best team or best team on paper.
Workout. It's the right workout. They got to pick the right workout. I'm sure they're getting that stuff. Some guys are just injury prone. At the end of the day, no matter how much they train, some guys are just injury prone.
It's frustrating.
It is. All right, well, I'll go on my 3. Fans are back in the stands. Give me fans. I needed it. Listen, games, all right, I'm going to be honest. Last year, I never got into baseball. Could it be because the Phillies ended up stinking it up at then? Yeah, that's probably why. But again, I never really got into it last year. First year in a long time. I just didn't get into it like that. So the fans being back will add that excitement, I think, for me. I think the Rangers are almost opening up to a crazy amount. I know a lot of stadiums are going about 5,000. It's going to make the difference. The players are going to feed off that hype. It'd be cool if they could close off a certain part of the stand. So at least I know there's got to be social distancing, but a little more packed together, could be a little bit louder instead of that whole spread out. 2, right off what Brandon said there, Mike Trout. Listen, everybody wants all these other guys to win MVP. I want Mike Trout to win it again.
Thank you.
I want him to win that 4th MVP before he's going to be 30 by the end of this season. He wins 4 MVPs by year 30. Come on, man. I want to see the best player ever to play, because all we talk about is, they go to Babe Ruths, all that type of stuff, greatest player ever. We are witnessing it, Mike Trout. So I want him to be the best player ever. So again, now we're telling our kids, grandkids, hey guys, guess what? I got to see Mike Trout play baseball. He's going to be pretty much, obviously, Ken Griffey, one of the greatest ever, but he had a lot of injuries spread out through his career too. Could Mike Trout be the non-injured type of Ken Griffey, that type of guy? Obviously not the same type of swag or everything, but the production and the numbers. And then number 3, something you both have brought up a little bit, the young guys. Give me these young guys. Listen, all my childhood stars are fading out. Pujols, Miguel Cabrera, obviously Joe Mauer went out a couple years ago. Those were my favorite guys to watch growing up. Okay, and then obviously the big 3 there, 4 or 5, whatever, in Philly, A-Rod, all these guys gone. They're leaving out. Now, give me the Tatis, the Bo Bichette. I'm going to throw Baum in there because he's a Philly. Acuna, Soto, Vlad Jr., Soroka, only 23. Zach, I know you know that. Kyle Lewis. Give me all these young and up-and-coming stars. I want it. I want it. I want it. Brings that young flair in. It feels like this is kind of that group, right? There's always a group of guys. It's never just one here, one there, one there. It's groups of guys. This seems like it's going to be that group, and I really hope it is. So those are the 3 things I'm looking forward to this year. All right. Well, kind of changing paths here from baseball. There's craziness all weekend. We got an 11 seed in the Final Four. UCLA was in a play-in game. Brandon, can Mark Few and the boys get it done?
Here's a stat for you. Gonzaga has won every single game this year by double digits except for one. Can you name the school?
West Virginia.
Yeah, it was WVU. But isn't that a crazy stat?
It is
29. And they've played, remember, in their bracket, they played the 2, 3, and 4 seed. They all won by double digits. Clearly, those guys didn't make it there. But still, Gonzaga, this is their year. We've said it all along. I just see them going undefeated. UCLA, yes, I think they were a tad bit overseeded. They're probably better than an 11 seed. But their bench is not very good. And it took that guy to have, 26 points last night? The other guy, the guy with the long hair, he did not have a good night. He had 6 points or something like that. You're not going to be able to beat Gonzaga if your second best player is putting 6 points up. Remember, they scored 51 points?
Yes.
You're not going to beat Gonzaga with 51 points. Gonzaga had 49 at half. Yeah. So that's all I'm going to say. I don't think Gonzaga loses.
Yeah, and I'll feed off that too. I'll be quick. Like Brandon said, the whole thing about only one win. Again, they haven't lost. One win coming under 10 points there. It's unreal. With all the chaos, right? I've kept on saying no Gonzaga, no Gonzaga, no Gonzaga. I'm changing it. Yes, Gonzaga. Yes, I have to change it now, right? Last 4. It's been so crazy. Why am I not going to just say, all right, Gonzaga's got to do it now? I'm not taking any crazy take. Gonzaga, you've been the best. I'm staying with you. And 2, do they have the easiest trip? I understand UCLA is very hot. But if you could have told Gonzaga, hey, y'all going to be playing 11 seed going into the championship, they'd say, sign me up in a heartbeat. Listen, UCLA is hot, but why? Going to go the veteran coach there, the best team in basketball. There's no doubt in my mind the Gonzaga will win the national championship. Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with both of you. There's not much more to say. I had everything you guys put down. But the other thing I was going to add, 4 of their starters average double digits on the season. So they're just efficient. They shoot the ball well. They're a good team. They were the best team going into the tournament. We all said it. And they're the number 1 overall seed. They had the easiest road there, and it just got even easier because they're playing an 11 seed in the Final Four. I mean, maybe UCLA isn't a true 11 seed, but they're still an 11 seed that struggled offensively in their last game. I don't know. I've liked Gonzaga from the beginning. I picked them to win. I hope they do win because I love their coach. And this is the year for them, obviously. So it's been a fun tournament to watch, but it came down to everyone knew that Gonzaga was probably going to take it.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we get at least some good games here. I don't know if I want too much more madness because I could just see if UCLA was to win, get that championship, it will be an all-out blowout by Baylor, who I think on that other side.
I think this Gonzaga team reminds me of those Villanova teams where you can name 5-star. I can name every starter on Gonzaga's team. It was kind of like that Villanova team where you could literally name everyone. They're all good. You said, well, that too, but they all averaged almost double digits, so they're good players.
Yeah, they're probably 4 of them are going to probably end up being first or second or even third team all.
Yeah, drafted. Yeah,
and drafted too. So, all right, well, changing gears, still staying with some college guys. Okay, obviously some big pro days have taken place since we last met. Justin Fields and Zach Wilson. Their workouts put on by the same guy. They're flashing that arm strength, flashing that athleticism. But who do you pick? All right. Trevor Lawrence is the guy. Feels like everybody's forgetting about Trevor Lawrence. What have you done for me recently, right? Everybody's talking Fields. Everybody's talking Zach Wilson. I'll give the floor to Zach here. Okay. All right, if you're a GM right now, you are the Jets or you are the 49ers, and you have the opportunity at one of these two guys, who are you taking?
So funny you say that because I think the 49ers actually traded up for Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is going at 3.
What?
And yeah, what? I do. Listen. I didn't. This isn't one of our topics.
Talking Justin Fields and Zach Wilson.
I know. But you asked the question, so I had to go with
it. I did.
Kyle Shanahan was front and center at Mac Jones's pro day. There's a little connection with Steve Sarkisian. Mac Jones is Kyle Shanahan's dude, but I'm gonna save that for another show. If I'm a GM, I'm taking Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields. Physical traits are off the board. Now he ran a 4.4. I think Robert Griffin and Michael Vick were the only quarterbacks that were faster than him.
But Lamar, Kyler Murray didn't run theirs.
Exactly. So that they didn't get a time. But listen, Justin Fields' worst game last year was versus Northwestern. Zach Wilson's worst game last year was versus Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, Northwestern had a Big Ten freshman of the year corner and a first 2-rounder type corner.
They're also in the Big Ten, and they were in the Big Ten championship. Justin Fields, when he played against Clemson, was the best player on the field. Am I saying Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in the draft? I'm definitely taking Trevor Lawrence over Justin Fields. But that night, Justin Fields is the best player on the field.
I agree.
Yeah. Justin Fields has beat some good opponents. He was very efficient in 2019, would have been a high round pick, probably a first round pick in 2019 also. The thing that gets me is that Zach Wilson wasn't even projected to be drafted in 2019. 2020, he comes out and all of a sudden he blows up a little bit because of his athleticism. Everybody wants that running quarterback, that athletic quarterback. I get it. Justin Fields is a fast quarterback, 4.4, but he doesn't really live off his legs. He lives off his big arm. He's got a big arm. He's got an NFL arm. That's what I really like about him. He's a 5-star recruit out of high school. I watched him on QB1. That's where I really became a Justin Fields fan. Good family, was loved in his community. He originally went to Georgia. He had some issues there with some fans or whatever. Some other athletes are on campus. But I'm telling you, when I watched that game against Clemson, I watched him in 2019 too. That dude can ball. He's a baller. I've loved Justin Fields for a while. He's an athlete. Like I said, the physical stuff is off the charts. The only negatives that I've been hearing about him that I think if he gets in a good system with a good coach, I think he can figure it out. Is he a one-read guy? People are comparing him to Haskins a little bit. I don't think he's a one-read guy, but he did have a little bit of issues with holding the ball too long. Ohio State runs a lot of option routes, and what was happening was instead of getting rid of the ball right away or going through his progressions, if that first read that he had or that option route didn't go, he was holding the ball too long, taking sacks this year. 2019, it wasn't an issue. 2020, it was. But I think that's also because of the COVID year. Big Ten was weird with how they handled it. They kind of put the teams back a little bit. But I think if he gets an NFL system, Look, I don't care about the pro days. Pro days don't really impress me that much. They're in shorts. Anybody can run that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying you got to discount it, but at the same time, it's like, come on. They showed the video of Zach Wilson's throw that was, went viral or
It
whatever.
was funny.
Sam Darnold did it in a game, and they're saying he's better than Sam Darnold. It's just hard for me. Like I said, Zach Wilson lost to Coastal Carolina this year, and then he's expected to turn around an NFL franchise. Come on, man. I don't think any of you, besides Trevor Lawrence, I don't know if any of these dudes are like right away starters. I think a lot of them need some work. I think they also need to sit behind a veteran or even go into camp and just say, let's learn. We got to break you down a little bit, get you NFL ready. But out of the two, I'm taking Justin Fields.
All right, Brandon, you're GM here. And I'm going to say you're GM for the Giants. Who would you want leading the G-Men? Obviously, this isn't going to happen, but you're GM. Who are you taking?
Okay, if I had to pick one, because what Zach just said right now, I totally agree with. In fact, I wouldn't draft any of them. I think Mac Jones is probably up there. I'd put him over. He's close to Fields. I really like Mac Jones. I think people keep knocking him about his athleticism. Dude, you don't need to be that athletic nowadays to play quarterback. And he's still an athlete. He's more athletic.
You have to be an athlete to play quarterback nowadays. Why do you think
No, look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady has like
12. He would run circles around you.
It seems like every week you come at me. You didn't let me finish.
That's a fact. He was drafted in Major League Baseball. He's a good athlete.
You just made a Jay Cutler comment when he said he didn't have to be in shape to play quarterback.
Come on.
I'm saying you don't have to run a 4.4. You didn't let me finish. Like Tom Brady had under 50 yards rushing this year. I'm saying you don't need to run the ball. You can be a drop back quarterback and throw it. Before I get eaten alive for my take, that's what I meant.
A 4.4 doesn't matter. If you can't read the defense, it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. And I think Mac Jones can be good without having to be able to run the ball if no one's open. You know what I mean? I just think people are getting, like Nick said earlier, everyone wants this running quarterback. You can still win with a pocket passer. In fact, most teams who do win have pocket passers. With that being said, if I had to choose, I would pick Justin Fields, but I'm not sold on either one of them. What I have, though, written down, and Zach, you alluded to this, Fields proved it in the big games. He proved it. I mean, that Clemson game, if I'm a scout, this guy can play versus elite competition. Let's be honest, Clemson's defense with that coordinator, that defense is probably top 3 defense in college football. You're looking at half that roster being in the NFL one day. So those are legit big-time throws that he made. I remember Fields had like a 55-yard TD, like in the air. Like he's got an arm. Like you said, Wilson lost to Coastal Carolina with an undefeated team. That's all you have to hear. It's not like he didn't have anyone around him. His team was good. He was undefeated. They lost to Coastal Carolina, who I know were undefeated too, but come on. People don't even know where Coastal Carolina is.
All right, yeah, but going with the Zach Wilson thing too, unfortunately he can't play defense as well in some of those games. I do think the athleticism does jump off the charts there, but like Zach said, they're in shorts. Okay. And two, he's playing with like 28 and 29-year-olds down there at BYU that are driving minivans to practice with their kids in the back. So, look, we're here. I'm GM. Listen, here's all the comparisons. I am an Ohio State fan, so I am biased. But it's all Haskins. It's JT Barrett's on a practice squad. It's Troy Smith was a backup for years. Braxton Miller had to go to receiver. All these different types of things, right? Some Ohio State greats. Terrell Pryor ended up going to receiver. You can't compare all these guys to Justin Fields because to his numbers back to back, his poise, his passing, all better than these guys. Dwayne Haskins was a one-trick pony. He had some great players around him as well. Very systematic type guy. Listen, Justin Fields has been battling with Trevor Lawrence his whole career. Both Georgia boys, okay? Justin Fields actually won one of those big quarterback competitions, beat Trevor Lawrence, obviously, they split 1-1 in the college football playoffs. He's competed with the guy that everybody's saying is the no doubter, and he's gone head for head with that guy plenty of times and has been right there with him. Again, in high school and in college. So I can see the same thing happening for the pros. Obviously, you guys alluded, big stage guy. He competes and he's beaten plenty of really good talents. He wins. He only has what, 2-3 losses his whole college career. Tough dude. Obviously, we all saw that hit he took against Clemson, stayed in there, threw some bombs down the field. And then I think he responds very well to some bad things happening. Had a horrible, probably his worst game of his college and high school career against Northwestern. What's he do? He goes and beats Clemson, who was crazy favored and made all-time throws. Was it 6 touchdowns too? But the big thing too, if you guys ever get a chance, watch that Alabama game again. Just his dropbacks. Obviously, some bad plays happened in that game. He did some really, really good stuff. Unfortunately, again, he's not playing defense. The defense could not get off the field for Ohio State. He looked really good in that game. Get a chance to look at that. Some of the throws he makes and stays in the pocket and makes some of these throws are crazy. But lastly, Ryan Day has said it nonstop. He is a leader. Something they never said about Dwayne Haskins. Even Urban Meyer on the record on TV said he had problems with leadership while at Ohio State. 8 games, 2,100 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Last year, kind of a Trey Lance type year, 2,953 yards, 40 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. He ran a 4.440 and 6.3 230. Listen,
he's 230.
230 ran a
Wow.
4.4. So listen, I understand the Ohio State thing's going to be hanging over his head, but get this guy. And I think the same thing what you said with Mac Jones, Brandon. Mac Jones will be very good in the NFL if he gets in the right system with guys around him. You know what I mean? He's not a guy that can just lead a team. Listen, Tom Brady's one of the best ever. He probably played one of his worst Patriots teams that was a one and done in the playoffs 2 years ago. And guess what? You saw how it affected him. He struggled a little bit last year because he didn't have the greatest talent around him. Now, listen, Mac Jones, if he goes to a team with that talent, I could 100% see him walking in and dealing. So again, it all depends on the system. I'd love to see him go back to Atlanta, back in Georgia guy, but we'll see how it goes. So, all right. All of us have played plenty of baseball, okay? Back in the Little League fields, Dover Little League out there, and always munching on seeds. I used to get yelled at all the time for there being seeds in my parents' car, especially the back seat. So it's game day, Brandon. You're playing second base. What do you got in your bag to munch on during the game?
All right. I think the top 2 are like neck and neck for me. Number 3 is a jalapeno, but there's a big distance between that and my second ranked barbecue. Okay. So barbecue's 2, and there's a huge gap between 1 and 2. I think actually, I'm gonna take back what I just said. Now I'm overthinking everything. Ranch is number 1, not even close. I would eat ranch sunflower seeds when I'm not playing baseball. I would just sit in my house and eat ranch sunflower seeds. Sometimes they were that good.
Yeah. All right, Zach, what do you got?
Fun fact, in high school, I used to take the ranch and the barbecue and put them in a Ziploc, dump them, and mix them up. That's what I used to have in high school. But as I've gotten older, college changed me a little bit. I found a brand that I never had when I was in high school. It was Biggs. Big fan of the Biggs team.
He's a vet.
So number 3 for me is dill pickle Biggs. They're I can eat them all day. Number 2 was ranch all-time great. Hall of Fame for the seeds. But number 1, man, this was a game changer. A couple of my players had it last year or 2 years ago. And it has changed my life. I got a bag right here.
Taco Bell.
Look at it. I've never had
Cream Biggs.
Those are good.
They will change your life. Let me tell you, I'm a big taco fan. Goes well with my drink that I got right now. Hey, Biggs. Best brand of seeds.
All right. For anybody that knows me, okay, anybody that played baseball with me, knows I love sunflower seeds. I used to get yelled at by my high school coach because I'd be at first base mid pitch, having some seeds in my mouth there. I always got those mini packs you can put in your back pocket. Boom, put them in my mouth there. Pitch is
Little
being
shooter
thrown. Oh
packs.
man, huh? Yeah. So my big thing, I did 5. I love sunflower seeds. Love them. I even had a guy in college tell me, I bet I could eat more sunflower seeds than you. I had a whole water bottle filled up within like 10 minutes. Boom. I love these things. I'm like a bird. So number 5, I did 5. David's Jumbo cracked pepper. Great. Great. Cracked pepper. If you want a little spice, a little kick, you got to have a little drink with you as well, because I'm telling you, they get to you. Amazing. Number 4, the Biggs Old Bay seeds. Delicious. Delicious. Royal Farms. Go get them. Number 3, I'm an original man. Give me some David's Original. Love it. Can't go wrong with the classics there. Number 2, David's Jumbo. Brandon, I don't know if you've had the Jumbos. Got to make sure you get the Jumbos when you get
Gotta
these
go
things.
Jumbo if you go David.
David Jumbo Ranch. And then the all-time best, if you haven't had them, you're going to be thirsty as all get out after these things. I'm telling you, Biggs Sizzling Bacon Seeds. Oh, my gosh.
I've never had them.
That could be my whole diet for a week. I
Royal
tell you,
Farm.
your mouth gets so salty and dry afterwards, but they are so, so good. I'm telling
Royal
you,
Farms, best place for
Royal
seeds.
Farms has all the seeds. For those East Coast people, I don't know anybody listening on the West Coast over there. Biggs, I was a big hater, and then I became a big believer in Biggs. They are delicious. They are better than David's on the flavors. David's.
Do they have sunflower seeds at Wawa?
Huh?
Yeah, but they don't have the selection. If you go to Royal Farms, you can get whatever flavor you want.
Go to
I don't think I've ever seen them at Wawa. Are they by the beef jerky, maybe?
They only
Yeah.
have one flavor usually, too, at Wawa Biggs. You got to go to Royal Farms.
I hate Royal Farms.
Great
All right.
for sunflower seeds.
Well, listen, I'm pumped for some baseball. I've missed it. There's been some great college baseball. That will be my closing talk. If you got a chance this weekend, watch some college baseball, especially those Vandy boys. Listen, I don't like rooting for the big dogs like that. Zach and I, mid-major guys here, okay? Listen, those Vandy boys, Kumar Rocker, obviously a lights out dude, and then Leiter down there as well, throwing no-nos, throwing all these scoreless innings, K's with fastballs. He's only a sophomore. Listen, watch some college baseball. Great atmosphere. What do you guys got to close out?
Go ahead, Zach.
I agree with what Nick said, man. If you're a young pitcher or you're a young viewer, go watch Vanderbilt play this weekend. They're 1 and 2 are dominant, dominant pitchers. They control the game. They are lights out on the mound. They're fun to watch. They're gonna be fun to watch in years to come in the majors too. Both of them are awesome. But like Nick said, and college baseball has been awesome this year. I don't know if it's because we didn't have it last year, but watching it this year, I'm just like, wow. Virginia Tech with a hammer. Man, nothing gets me going more than watching that. And I'm not a Virginia Tech fan by any means, but that gets me going every single time. But go Gonzaga. Everyone else, have a great night.
Brandon?
Just want to say, tune in to Georgia Tech baseball. Their closer might be the biggest person I've ever seen pitch a baseball. He's like 400 pounds. It's kind of funny, but he does throw it like 98 miles an hour. So tune into Georgia Tech baseball. We'll stick with the college baseball theme. Also, watch the MLB. People always say it's boring. Do you know MLB averages like under 3 hours a game?
And they're doing
NFL games are like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, they're doing
sped it up.
double headers too this year, which are going to be sick.
People act like, oh, it's so slow, or no, it's not. It's really not that slow of a game anymore because the pitchers don't take 3 minutes between pitches. As long as that's like at a reasonable rate, the game's not bad at all.
Yep.
Hey, Braves Phillies tomorrow, baby.
Yeah. Listen, if you guys get a chance, I'm sure the prices are going to be up. If they do some minor league games up to the fans, go watch a game. I'm sure a lot of our viewers do know this, but for those that don't, go watch a game in person, completely change you, cool atmosphere, especially when you get in a cool city, Baltimore, DC, Philly, all by us. And then obviously Zach and Brandon, obviously Yankees, Braves fan, plenty of things to do around there. Go to a game. Go to one. All right, everybody. Well, that is it for episode 19. Some great conversation today, fellas. Hey, we're hitting the 20 mark next week, so make sure you come back and watch. My name's Nick.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Zach.
We'll see you guys next week.